Fantasy movies often conjure the most fantastic make-believe creatures, but one need not look to fiction to find creatures so surreal that they beg a belief. Earth's natural world has a sense of humor. There are giant versions of normal species and spiders that look like rabbits. In the darker corners, fish suddenly melt and large creepy crustaceans burrow into corpses. That aside, rainbow squirrels and ghostly tubes longer than a bus also prove the world's most surreal animals are also among the most glorious. Today, we'll have a closer look at the top 5 surreal looking animals. Don't forget to subscribe and let's head into it. Number 5. White whale. When Herman Melville wrote Moby Dick in 1851, the story about the white whale became a classic. The pale cetaceans are not pure invention. For instance, Galon de Leche, or milk gallon, an albino whale, is a local celebrity off the coast of Mexico. There have been several sightings of a white whale in the area, but nobody knows if it is the same animal or different individuals. However, they are rare. In 2003, a pure white calf was allegedly seen. Unfortunately, there exists no photographic evidence to back up the encounter. Milk gallon first received its name when researchers found the albino grey whale in 2008, and again in 2016, this time with a normal coloured calf by its side. The most recent sighting happened in 2019 when a whale watching guide saw a white-grey whale breach near the Baja California coast, Mexico. Manuel Gonzalez was savvy enough to record footage of the animal. He did not repeat the mistake of the crew who possibly sighted milk gallon as a calf in 2003. Number 4. An enormous bee. Alfred Russel Wallace found a giant bee. The serious-looking black creature was 4 times the size of a honeybee. This was in 1858, and for over a century, the so-called Wallace's giant bee vanished. Thought to be extinct, it made a comeback in 1981 when an entomologist found 6 nests scattered throughout the Bacan Islands. After this sighting, the enormous buzzers disappeared again. In 2019, a team of scientists scoured Indonesian islands in search of the world's largest bee. The expedition reached its final day when a local guide spotted the nest. It was already known that Wallace bees nested inside termite mounds, but none inspected by the team had yielded any of the creatures. This mound was found in a forest in North Maluku and contained a Queen Wallace. The photos and video of her were the first taken of the species. Her wingspan measured 6 centimeters or 2.5 inches wide, and the creature had massive mandibles. The bees may keep disappearing because the region is exceptionally remote. Number 3. Pyrosoma Colony. In 2018, divers filmed underwater scenes near White Island in New Zealand. Suddenly, they were surprised by a ghostly creature. The ribbon-like tube measured 8 meters or 26 feet long. It looked like a giant worm. However, the floating feature was a colony of creatures called tunicates. These plankton-nibbling critters look like tiny rods, but are complex organisms with spinal cords. Their ability to clone means that the ribbon can live forever. A single colony is also known as a pyrosome and can grow as long as 18 meters or 60 feet. This made the New Zealand case one of the smaller tunicate villages. The larger cities are often built by a species called Pyrosoma spinosum. Not only do they make the most breathtakingly long pyrosomes, but the bioluminescent variety of tunicates also turn the colony into a glowing wonderland. Number 2. Arachnid with rabbit head. Scientist Andreas K. browsed Ecuador's Amazon rainforest in 2017. He encountered a tiny creature with a really odd look. The photograph showed something resembling a spider with a black bunny's head. As bizarre and new as it looked, the species had been discovered in 1959. About the size of a thumbnail, it was also not a spider, but a harvestman. This type of arachnid is more popularly known as a daddy longlegs. Unfortunately, researchers don't have much information about this particular species, which is known as the bunny harvestman. Little research has been done on the creature's unique body shape, despite being known for decades. However, the rabbit look probably has an important purpose. The 2 false ears and false yellow eyes could be a way to deter predators. Whatever the reason, harvestmen are exceptionally successful as a group. There are thousands of species, and they are older than the dinosaurs. Number 1. Rainbow squirrel. In 2019, an amateur photographer uploaded images of a squirrel to Instagram. They were a smash hit. This was no ordinary squirrel. The animal appeared to have been dyed in sections or perhaps digitally altered. The good news is that the rainbow-colored rodent is 100% organic. Called Malabar giant squirrels, they hug trees in the Indian Peninsula. This particular specimen was a beautiful example of their bright fur that could include orange, purple, and indigo. Sadly, not every Malabar has a Technicolor dream coat. It is more common to see animals with different shades of brown, like beige, rust, and tan. Either way, both could play a role in camouflage and looking good for the opposite gender. The creatures are also impressively large, measuring about 1 meter or 3 feet long. They rarely leave the safety of high branches. When they feel like traveling to the next tree, they launch their bright bulk up to 6 meters or 20 feet through the air. If you enjoyed getting to know more about these fascinating animals, share this video with your friends and hit the like and subscribe button. Stay tuned to learn more about the fascinating places you can visit around the world, and I'll see you in the next video.